Elon Musk has just dropped another bombshell. Well, not one, but two of them. With his ambitions for colonizing Mars growing by every second, he doesn't shy away from the terrifying truth that lies behind our daunting red neighbor. Musk has recently alerted us of NASA's terrifying discovery of moving structures. But that's not all. He also seems to have new evidence for the possibility of there being actual Martians. But how did he get to know this? And what exactly does this mean for Elon Musk's mission? But most importantly, what does it mean for us? Dive into this Martian mystery with us as Elon Musk just revealed NASA's terrifying discovery on Mars. The universe is an incredibly mysterious place, but as it turns out, we don't have to look far to experience the strangest anomalies of the universe. Mars, our scarlet neighbor, has garnered humanity's great interest in recent decades. Thanks to organizations and influential figures like Elon Musk, our dream of sending humans to Mars seems almost within reach. It feels like a sci-fi movie is becoming a reality. However, such grand visions come with massive price tags. For instance, NASA's Curiosity rover alone had a whopping price of $2.5 billion. And if we're talking about making Mars our second home, the estimated cost is between $100 to $200 billion. Although humans have already set foot on the moon, NASA aims to return by 2024 and target Mars by 2033. It's like they're saying, why settle for the moon when you can aim for Mars? While some, like Elon Musk, believe that exploring outer space is vital for humanity's future, others argue that we should use that money to fix Earth's problems. It's a debate as fiery as a blazing star. Regardless of the arguments, Mars continues to be on everyone's radar, especially with its intriguing mysteries. Amidst all this, amateur researchers have recently made a shocking claim. They have come up with something that has sent shockwaves through the entire scientific community. They believe they've spotted unusual tracks on Mars. These tracks aren't your typical marks. They are large, accompanied by curved objects, and some even seem to stretch for miles. Of course, some scientists think these researchers have too much free time. Still, the images have sparked a lot of interest. Many are fascinated by what these marks could be. It's not just researchers who are buzzing about this. Regular folks on the internet have noticed these tracks too. This has left everyone extremely puzzled and plunged everyone into trying to figure out how big these marks are. Others wonder what created them. Could it be evidence of ancient roller coasters on Mars? That's a fun thought, though pretty unlikely. Here's where it gets even more fascinating. The National UFO Center has found a similar image. This one shows tracks that go on for about 86 miles. Some space lovers think these might be signs of an ancient civilization. Could this civilization possibly be aliens? Or something far more terrifying? While some dismiss these strange sightings on the red planet as mere illusions, many enthusiasts believe there might be more to them. Remember the 2015 Mars photo that looked like a creature from the Alien movies? Though NASA said it was just rock formations, it got many people talking. With such intriguing findings, it's natural to wonder, are these signs of ancient Martian life, or just our imagination? As we get closer to stepping on Mars, there's no telling what secrets it might reveal. One thing is clear. With visionaries like Elon Musk in the forefront, our journey to Mars is bound to be filled with surprises. Apart from this mile-long structure that's reportedly moving on Mars, there seems to be another surprise waiting. Musk, with his company SpaceX, is on a mission. He's building the technology to make it possible for humans to live on Mars. Just think about it. By 2050, there could be a city on Mars. But Musk isn't just doing this for fun. There is a greater, more profound agenda at play. He believes that if humans don't colonize Mars, we might end up like the dinosaurs. With all his exciting plans, Musk is working hard to ensure the survival of humanity. And with all his efforts, the idea of living on Mars isn't looking as far-fetched as it used to. However, something has recently popped up that has left NASA guessing with each breath. There seems to be a strange phenomenon happening on the red planet that has caught the attention of both NASA and Elon Musk. It's the mystery of the Martian megacloud. Picture waking up every morning during Mars's spring and summer. Right at the foot of the Volcano, a massive cloud begins to form. Within a few hours, it expands incredibly, stretching from a distance equivalent to New York City to Houston, Texas. But here's the kicker. This enormous cloud vanishes entirely within just 10 hours. This is fascinating, as it is one of the most unusual occurrences ever observed on Mars. As scientists scratch their heads over this cosmic wonder, we can't help but wonder, are we closer to finding our extraterrestrial neighbors? Or is this just another piece in the vast cosmic puzzle we're trying to solve? The mega cloud of Mars seems to be orographic, but it comes with a catch. It's nothing like what we have on Earth. Imagine a cloud made of frozen water particles, not just water vapor. That's the mega cloud of Mars for you. This massive cloud stretches over 2,000 kilometers, making it the biggest cloud ever spotted on Mars. Earth has its version of such clouds, but the Martian one is super special. But how did we get to know so much about it? Thanks to high-tech gadgets like the European Space Agency's Mars Express orbiter and NASA's Mars mission. These tools are helping scientists unlock the mysteries of this enormous cloud. But here's the twist. This cloud doesn't appear all the time. It only forms during specific seasons and only around the Martian region. But why? Is it operating on a schedule? Or is there something deeper going on? Well, the Martian region has a massive volcano that's 20 kilometers high. Some scientists suggest that this giant volcano might be the reason behind the cloud's formation. As moist air rises around the volcano, it mixes with dust particles, creating this stunning cloud. But why does this cloud appear in only certain seasons? Well, scientists believe that the changing seasons on the planet might be the cause. These seasonal shifts in temperature and pressure could be just right for cloud formation. But here's where it gets even crazier. With all these clouds forming over Mars, one is led to think that this cloud might just have hidden water reserves. Although the nature of the water and its properties are still under scientific speculation, it is an exciting thought nonetheless. Speaking of water, we have to speak of living things. Though NASA says Mars isn't fit for life, they've still found hints of Martian bacteria. Did you know that in 2014, NASA's Curiosity rover found hints of methane on Mars? This discovery is thrilling because it hints towards the possibility of Mars having bacterial life. Just like on Earth, the methane levels on Mars seem to change with the seasons. This has scientists buzzing with excitement. They're now trying to figure out if Mars has extremophiles, which are tiny creatures that can live in extreme conditions. Methane is essential because it can signal the presence of life. On our planet, most methane comes from living things. But it can also come from natural processes, like when water reacts with certain rocks. NASA and other space enthusiasts, like Elon Musk, are keen to understand where this Martian methane is coming from. They're also investigating if there might be other sources besides life causing it. Another thrilling discovery on Mars is the complex molecules made of carbon and hydrogen. These are basic ingredients for life as we understand it. While this doesn't mean there's life on Mars, it suggests that the conditions needed for life might have been there at some point. But the exciting discoveries don't stop there. Recent images have started adding to our red neighbor's mystery. These images show bright deposits in Martian gullies, which suggest the possibility of liquid water. Some even call it Mars liquid gold. Michael Meyer, the head scientist for NASA's Mars exploration program, believes these pictures indicate that water might still flow on Mars at times. Elon Musk is alerted by this discovery, as it could hint at the possibility of microbial life on the red planet. However, there's a surprising twist. Given Mars's thin atmosphere and cold temperatures, how can liquid water even exist there? Some scientists believe this water might be seeping from underground sources. As it reaches the surface, it freezes, leading to the mysterious deposits we observe. Both SpaceX and NASA have made it their mission to find water on Mars. But given the planet's thin and cold atmosphere, it seems impossible for liquid water to last on its surface. Some argue that the detected hydrogen from orbit could mean salt water. Others point to features called recurrent slope linii, hinting at brackish water flow. Mars, even though it's half the Earth's size, has an equal amount of dry terrain. The planet also boasts the tallest mountain and the longest, deepest valley in our solar system. Olympus Mons, Mars's highest peak, is about 3 times the height of Mount Everest. The Valles Marineris, a system of valleys on Mars, extends for about 2,500 miles, nearly 1/5 of Mars's circumference. It's almost the size of Australia. This vast valley system was likely caused by the stretching of the Martian crust. Some of these individual canyons can be 60 miles wide. The center section, where these canyons converge, spans up to 370 miles. Some canyons even have large channels coming out from them. And inside these canyons, we have evidence that suggests that they may have once held liquid water. Speaking of water on Mars, here's something even more shocking. Did you know that Mars might have experienced monster tsunamis in the distant past? Yes, you read that right. Tsunamis on Mars. But how did the scientific community come up with such an absurd conclusion? And what prompted this discovery in the first place? Scientists have long been fascinated by the dry channels, valleys, and deltas on the Martian surface. These features suggest that liquid water once flowed on Mars, but the how and when of this phenomenon has always been a mystery. In recent years, researchers have been putting the puzzle pieces together, and it seems tsunamis might be part of the story. Imagine waves as tall as skyscrapers crashing over the Martian landscape. According to some experts, these giant waves might have been triggered by meteor impacts hitting the Martian oceans around 3.4 billion years ago. When these space rocks collided with Mars, they could have created huge craters, sending massive tidal waves across the planet. Using high-resolution images and topographic data from Mars orbiters, scientists have identified features that look like the remnants of ancient tsunami deposits. They've found large boulders which they believe were carried great distances by tsunami waves, and long, narrow channels that could have been carved by the retreating water. One of the most exciting findings is the presence of two different sets of tsunami deposits. This is one of the strangest and most absurd things present on Mars that have recently become a hot topic amongst the scientific community. It suggests that there might have been at least two massive tsunamis on Mars, separated by millions of years. The first tsunami would have left wet sediments behind, and the second one, coming millions of years later, could have frozen these sediments in place. The evidence also points to Mars having a cold and icy climate between the two tsunami events. Moving forward, we also see that there are channels, valleys, and gullies on the surface of Mars that hint that liquid water might have flowed there not too long ago. Imagine channels that are as long as 1,200 miles and as wide as 60 miles. Some scientists think that the rocks below these channels might still have water trapped inside them. And guess what? Recent studies suggest that this underground water might be salty and have enough oxygen to support tiny microbial life. However, things on Mars are a bit tricky. The amount of oxygen in the water can change because of the temperature and pressure there. Mars's rotation affects its temperature, making it go up and down. Also, Mars has some super flat areas, especially in the northern plains. These plains are so flat and smooth that they stand out in the solar system. And here's a fun fact. The northern part of Mars is at a lower elevation than the southern part. This might be because the northern crust is thinner. Why? Well, some believe it's because of a huge collision that happened shortly after Mars was formed. But how do we know that? Well, the craters tell us. For starters, did you know that the number of craters on Mars can tell you about its age? Places with more craters are older. The giant Hellas Planitia crater in the southern hemisphere is a whopping 1,400 miles wide. On the other hand, the northern hemisphere has a younger field with fewer craters. And here's the exciting bit. If you spot only a few craters on a volcano, it could mean it erupted recently, as the fresh lava might have hidden the older craters. Some craters even hint at Mars's watery past with their muddy-looking debris. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. In 2018, the Mars Express probe found something even more fascinating. What seemed like a mix of water and grains under the Martian pole. Some even call it a lake. It's about 12.4 miles wide and reminds us of the hidden lakes in Antarctica that are full of bacteria. To top it off, by the end of that year, the probe also spotted a huge icy area in Mars' Korolev crater. Mars also holds other secrets that are both captivating and mysterious. Imagine vast areas, stretching from the poles to about 80 degrees latitude in both Martian hemispheres, filled with huge deposits. These aren't just any deposits. They appear to be layers upon layers of water ice mixed with dust, stacked like pages in a book. It's believed that the Martian atmosphere has been depositing these layers over time. But there's more to this icy story. Many of these layered regions in both the north and south of Mars are blanketed with caps of permanently frozen water ice. Why? Well, Mars is much farther from the sun than our Earth, making it a pretty chilly place. Its poles can drop to a freezing -195 Fahrenheit during winters, while the equatorial regions can warm up to a comfortable 70 Fahrenheit at midday. On average, however, the temperature hovers around -80 Fahrenheit. Now, while Mars does have an atmosphere, it's quite different from Earth's. It's rich in carbon dioxide, but is about 100 times less dense. Still, it's thick enough to have its weather system with clouds and winds. Fascinatingly, this atmosphere once might have been dense enough to support flowing water on the planet's surface. Over time, due to the lack of a protective magnetic field like Earth's, Mars lost much of its atmosphere to the solar wind. NASA's MAVEN mission is currently trying to uncover more about this process. Here's another fun fact. Did you know that Mars is the only planet in our solar system to have snow clouds made of carbon dioxide? That's right. NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter found this exciting detail. Now, imagine giant dust storms so big that warm air pockets move, creating winds that lift even more dust. This isn't some sci-fi movie. This is real Martian weather. These massive dust storms heat the atmosphere and make the winds even faster. Now imagine being a robot on Mars. These storms can be pretty dangerous for robots on Mars. For instance, in 2018, a robot named the NES Opportunity Mars rover got caught in one of these megastorms. The dust was so thick it blocked sunlight for days, causing the poor robot's solar panels to stop working. But wait, there's more. Mars also has a longer year than Earth, taking 687 days to orbit the sun. However, a day on Mars isn't too different from ours, lasting around 24 hours and 40 minutes. Just like Earth, Mars also has a tilted axis, which means it experiences seasons. But here's the twist. Mars has more extreme seasons than Earth. Thanks to its unique oval-shaped orbit, some parts of Mars can have a warm, short summer when it's close to the sun, and a cold, brief winter when it's far away. The reverse happens too. Some areas have a long, mild summer followed by an extended cold winter. Mars doesn't have a big moon like Earth either. Hence, its axis tilt changes a lot, causing the Martian surface to experience different climates over time. This shift might even be the reason why, at times, methane gets released into Mars's atmosphere. This methane then causes brief warm periods, allowing water to flow on the planet. With all this talk about the past and the present of Mars, scientists are equally intrigued by its future. The latest news is that Phobos, one of Mars's 2 tiny moons, is inching closer and closer to the red planet. And guess what? They predict it might collide with Mars in the future. Now, how is this even possible? When and how will this even happen? Well, the main culprit here is tidal forces. You see, Phobos orbits very close to Mars, much closer than our moon orbits Earth. This proximity means that Mars's gravitational pull is slowly drawing Phobos towards it. Every 100 years, Phobos gets about 2 meters closer to Mars. That might not seem like a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, it's a ticking time bomb. So what can we expect when this collision happens? Firstly, we're not talking about a swift crash and boom. It's more of a slow-motion merger. As Phobos gets closer, the tidal forces from Mars will start tearing it apart. Imagine the scene. Chunks of Phobos breaking off, creating a ring of debris around Mars before the eventual collision. But don't pack your space bags yet. This dramatic event is not going to happen anytime soon. Scientists estimate that it'll take about 30 to 50 million years for the actual collision to occur. Still, it's a significant discovery, and one that has astronomers and space fans excited and alarmed. Thank you for being with us. Make sure to watch the next video on your screen. It's fantastic!